Hello! This video is going to be a tour of our homeschool classroom. We have been homeschooling for 5 years now. My oldest is in 4th grade and she's been homeschooled since the beginning. I have 3 kids that I'm teaching in this classroom, a 4th grader, a 1st grader, and a pre-K student. So this classroom works really well for us. This is the first year though that we've had a classroom. Before this, we've always done it at the kitchen table. This is actually a room that we finished in our basement. I love having a classroom. I didn't really know if I would like it because one thing that's nice about having, doing school upstairs is if anybody needs to go to the bathroom, it's right there. If you need something to eat, we were homeschooling in the kitchen, so if you need a snack or a drink, it's right there. But what I like about being down here is that when we're down here, it is time for school. And that's it. So I kind of like that. It makes it, we're a lot more efficient this way. And the other thing I love about having this classroom is having all of my stuff in one place. When we didn't have the classroom, this used to be my oldest daughter's room before, and I had different closets throughout the house that held all of our books. So let me get you guys started and I'll show you around everything we have down here. Okay, so this is what it looks like coming in the door to the classroom. Right over here, we have my teacher area. So this is my desk, which is pretty tiny. I don't really use it much, so I just wanted a small table that I could sit at to do planning or something like that. But when I'm teaching and when I'm down here with the kids, which is the majority of time that I spend in this room, I am not at that desk. So I have that for planning. I don't grade anything that my kids do other than when they do math tests, but I do those right on the spot, so I don't really need a place to sit down and do grading. So that is my planning area. And over here on this little ledge, I just have some different things here, like what we're doing this week. I have a folder for each kid with important papers and our completed lesson plans in here. So that's kind of what I use, and then my just little desk things that I need and some notebooks. And then this shelf right here next to my desk has a few little things in it. This I just put teacher stuff on because this is just my random things, like extra sandwich bags and paper clips, and wow, this drawer is a mess, and the velcros and pins and yeah, all that stuff. That is a mess. Okay, let's shut that. So that's my teacher stuff drawer. Then this second drawer here is where I keep our week's worth of science materials. So for the science curriculum we're using this year, it's Apologia, and we bought the little kit that goes along with it. So this has the materials for each lesson, and I'll put down that week's materials in here. And okay, and then in the bottom I have all of our math manipulatives. Sorry. So I have the clocks, the little blocks, the rubber bands. The geo boards are somewhere else, but rubber bands. What else is in here? Legos for counters. These are all the little cards that I cut out for the Right Start Math program. Again, down there with that. So, oh, and these are all flashcards and stuff. So this is all our math manipulatives, those little foam counters, ordinal numbers, yep. That's that drawer. Okay, behind my desk is this cart here, and this is what houses a lot of on this shelf, I have a lot of my teacher guides. So these are teacher guides for my son, who's in 1st grade, and these are teacher guides for my daughter, who's in 4th grade. And then in the middle here is where I keep a little bin of seasonal activities and craft materials. So this was just full of Christmas stuff, and I just took most of it out but left some of the winter things in here in case we do little snow pictures, or there's cotton balls to make snowman, and some little winter stickers. So that's what that bin is for. I keep that there. Alright, on top here you'll notice there's some strange stuff going on for a classroom, but basically this is our little store, we call it. My kids can earn school bucks. And I just left this tray here because, number one, we use this sometimes with math, the fake money, and then also this is what I give them for school bucks. And it makes it very easy if I see one of them doing something really good or just staying on task when everyone else is not, I can just grab them a quarter or a dollar or a dime or whatever and hand it to them. That way I don't have to go like hunt this down and open it up. So I keep that right there. For this is like the bank for our school store. And then this is our school store. And everything costs a certain amount of money. And so what I do is I use this for motivation, but also for teaching money and, you know, giving back change and things like that. So I just keep this stocked with a few little things, and they can buy, you know, if they have the money at any time, they're allowed to come and spend their money. Or they can save it for bigger items like some of the blind bags and things that kids are into right now, which I need to get some more of. But all the blind bags are like $5. And it usually takes them a good like week or more to earn $5 worth of school bucks. So if they want something like that, they have to save up their money. If they want something smaller, they can get like, I have stickers that they can use for crafts, but these are like my special stickers, and they can buy these. Or erasers, or bookmarks, or these little origami packs. I have some glitter tapes down here that they can buy, and some pins, and you know, just little things just to kind of keep them on track. It's a good way if one of them is doing really good to kind of reward that behavior, and so the others say like, oh, I want to do more of that because they got rewarded. So yeah, that's that, the school store. And then my big old printer is down there. So that's all my stuff basically, and that's my like little desk area. I kind of keep everything minimal as much as possible. I usually have stuff hanging up on this little thing. This is like student work or things they make me, but I recently kind of cleaned everything off the walls after Christmas when we took down all the decorations. And then because this is our basement, that's our like little, I can't think of the word, fuse box and utility box. What's that called? Anyways, I just put pictures all over that to kind of camouflage it. Okay, so coming around to this wall, we do have a little alphabet strip up there. I've got the map there, and there's our lovely window unit and our lovely heater. I actually really like our heater. Right now it's winter. When we don't need the heater, I move that out of here so we have a little more room, but I keep a little board back here because usually when I'm teaching phonics or anything, I'll just use that board a lot. So I like to be able to grab that quick, that dry erase board. Then each of my kids around the wall here, those are the older two, and then that's the younger ones, have these little caddies. And these are to keep anything that is like their personal stuff but has to do with school. This is also where they keep their school bucks, so we call them their banks. See, my son has one of his little things for money there, so that's their bank. And then other things they might keep is like he made this little Santa around the world. He keeps that down here. She's got a little notepad and this weird thing she made. I don't know what that's for. But anyways, they keep little things that they want that's their own stuff there because this is the table that they sit at, and we keep all of the like pens and pencils in the middle. We used to keep pens and pencils for each of them in there, but I like just having everything shared. This has glue sticks down here. Let's see. On this side, and then dry erase markers are supposed to be here, and scissors are supposed to be there, and then pens and pencils here. So I keep all that in the middle. Alright, and so this is where my kids sit. Again, I have 3. So I actually marked it off with tape so they would know kind of where their space is and to stay in their space. I've gotten the chairs that I want for them, but that is not the table I want to keep. This is just the table that we had, and I just have not got anything better yet. This is simply one of those fold-up tables that you buy at Walmart. It was super cheap, and the only thing I love about it is I do not care if they get paint and glue, and like you can see, this is an entire school, or half of a school year's worth of paint and mess, and it's, ooh, there's money. That's somebody's school bucks right there. I guess it goes back in the bank. Anyways, that's like a ton of mess, and that's okay because it's just like a cheap table, and if I ever want to use it for anything, I can just throw a tablecloth over it. So that's good. That's fine with me. And so this, let me show you kind of from this corner. Up here is where we keep like special work that they do. Right now it still has their Christmas work. We haven't really done any more artsy things yet in January, so it still has the Christmas stuff up. But each kid made a little name tag, and then I just put their work right beneath it. So that's been really fun. They like having that space to display art, and I like that it looks like kind of neat and contained, and it's not just like all over the walls. And I had to take something down before I can put something up. Before I had that up, I was just kind of sticking work everywhere, and it was just making it feel kind of chaotic down here. So that's what we're doing now. And we do have a TV in here. I think I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this room used to be my oldest daughter's room, but it is in the basement, and she just got kind of tired of being in the basement. And at that point I said, that's cool, I will make it into a homeschool room. So it still has a TV from when she was in here, and I thought that I might use it for school, like when we do videos, but I typically just use my laptop. So that TV, we will probably end up taking it down and moving it up to her room or something like that. So anyways, over here, this is where my preschooler sits, in this seat here. So she has her little leapfrog set with all her books and stuff right here, and her little thing and some pens. Okay, let me back up so you can see kind of that half of the room. So we've covered where the kids sit and my desk area. So I'm going to go to the other side of the room now, which is kind of a small room, so it's hard to back up enough for you to see. But okay, this is our, oh, there's my puppy tearing up her basket. This is our like calendar, morning work, main teaching area. This is where I stand, like right here, when I'm teaching pretty much everything, and that's why their table, they're all facing this way. So I will show you. Up here is where we have our skip counting numbers. This is something that both my first grader and fourth grader is working on. My fourth grader, obviously, she's working on it with multiplication, and right now she's doing factoring, so this comes in handy a lot for her. And then my first grader is learning to skip count, you know, by threes, and he learned last year like 2s and 5s, and now he's learning like 3s and 4s and 6s. So we do skip counting, and if you've ever seen the Mr. DeMeo videos online on YouTube, we use his songs, and so we know like a song for each of the skip counting numbers, and it's really cool. I love his videos, so go check that out if you're trying to teach skip counting or multiplication. All right. Down here is our calendar area. We have like our month and today's date and days in school, and then they do the calendar and they do the whole thing. Now, when they do calendar, they have a calendar and morning work notebook, so they get this out and they have their own calendar and they write in the days, and then we'll talk about all the stuff, and I'll call one person up to come do mark the days in school, write the day's date, and put up the day on the calendar. And then we do sometimes use that calendar time to sing like months of the years or days of the week, or talk about seasons, talk about weather, talk about patterns, and we do skip counting during that time as well. Okay, on this wall, this is our whiteboard, the only whiteboard I have in the classroom. So I use this for several things, but the main purpose of this whiteboard is our spelling curriculum, and we use All About Spelling. So that's what all those tiles you see up there belong to. And then I also use it for teaching other things that we need. And then I just have a few little kind of decorative things, but it kind of helps keep me on track. Our preschooler does a letter of the week kind of program that I just kind of developed myself. It's no set curriculum, but we take one letter each week and we just kind of practice it along with other letters and the sounds it makes and words that begin with it and crafts. So I'll usually write down her letter right here. Then we do, as a full class, we do vocabulary. So I put their vocabulary words for the week right there. And then our memory verse for the week goes right there. And then up here, these are just books that they can read at any time. And this is like our little school library, I guess. This is all the books that we have down here in the schoolroom that aren't part of our curriculums that we're using. And then the kids do have books in their rooms, but this is good if they just have a few extra minutes while someone else is finishing something up, and I tell them to go pick a book to read. So that's what that is for. Now over here is what I use for our kind of like, I call it morning meeting. It's where we do the calendar and we do the memory verse and we do our skip counting and all that. So we also do, I think twice a week we do vocabulary, or maybe it's 3 times now. I just changed our schedule. So we do vocabulary, and I'm liking this book. It's really cute. They just pick, I'll pick one word out of here, and we're kind of going in order unless we come across a word I don't like. And it gives the word, it gives the definition, it gives a little picture, and then some sentences. And they write down the word in their book, And they use their morning notebooks like I showed you with the calendar for this. And then we also do some character ed. So I have some character ed books that we're working on, like What If Everybody Did That? I Heard Good News Today. Don't School Unless It's a Big Deal. Those How Full Is Your Bucket type stuff. So those books we'll just do kind of as a read aloud on our character ed days. And then I have a lot of our Bible stuff up here that we use for Bible. We're using this book, Bible Basics for Kids, to kind of read through some highlights of the Bible this year, and I use this Adventure Bible for that. Alright, so that section right there is just stuff that I use to teach during our morning meeting time. Alright, I'll back up, and also down here we have the puppy bed, and we have lots of stuff for the puppy to chew on, so she doesn't chew on our pencils when we drop them, right? Yeah? Okay, awesome. Alright, so moving over here, this is our curriculum shelf, art shelf, I guess. This is where I keep curriculum that is shared, so we do history and science all together, so that's on that midsection there. And then also curriculum for each of the children that they don't use every day. So let me explain. So for instance, up here we have, and I just use washi tape and write their names on it. But these are Rowan's readers. So whichever reader he's on, instead of it being in this basket, it will be in his tower where his readers go. But in the meantime, all the other readers that he's not working on are in here. And this is like his math book that he has, book 1 that he's working on now. This is book 2. So this is anything that's part of their curriculum. These are my daughter's readers, and for 4th grade, and then this is the pre-K readers. So anything that's part of their curriculum that they are not currently working on, that's what I put up here. Then this second shelf is all of our history curriculum stuff, and we have a lot for history. There's quite a few books. We use Sunlight, and we are on course C right now. So if you wanted me to talk about in a different video Sunlight, or how I combine preschool, 1st grade, and 4th grade for history and science, just let me know. But basically what I do, real quick, is I kind of teach to the 4th graders level, and then I just kind of expect a little less, or have less assignments, or I don't know, just kind of teach, kind of bring it down a little bit for the 1st grader. And then my preschooler, she just kind of hangs out, and if she wants to listen, she can listen, or if she wants to doodle or play Legos or whatever, she can do that. So that's kind of how I combine them all right now. Now when my pre-K is in kindergarten next year, I do believe I'm going to take her and my son, who will be in 2nd grade, and put them together. And then my daughter, who will be in 5th grade, she's going to kind of go off on her own. So, but that's, this year we're all together. So this is all of our history stuff. And then science is, we are just doing zoology. So literally this is it. Now they do have a junior notebooking journal things, but those are in their towers that I'll show you in a minute. Okay. Then right here we just have some paper, computer paper, notebook paper. This is our lovely scrap paper bin that also now has construction paper in it, because somehow it was like on this shelf and it made its way into there. Anywho, okay, this is the bottom shelf that the kids can all reach and get to really easy right here. So this is the shelf I've decided to make art materials, so that they can just kind of come and grab stuff, and then I can also grab it easily. These books here are all like magazines that they can cut stuff out of, and drawing books, coloring books, sticker books. This is like origami papers. This is all stuff that they can grab anytime they want. It doesn't really have the same rules as other school books, because I'm very particular with our curriculum, because obviously I don't want it to, you know, get ruined. But with these books, they know they can just grab them at any time. They can cut stuff out of them. They can do whatever they want with these books, color, whatever. Whoops. So these are all what I call our art books. This is just some random art stuff, kind of organized the best that I can. We've got our crayons, markers, colored pencils there, glitter glue sticks, ribbon, some puffy paints, some feathers, some bingo dauber things, stamp pads, and like stamp ink pads and stamps. And then this is like little random things like eyes and little sequins and little pom-pom balls and an extra lid. This is like letter stamps. and just some other random stuff. Okay, now down here where it opens up is more art stuff on this shelf. There's 2 shelves. So this one has more art stuff. This is like the bigger stuff. So of course we have paints and paintbrushes, popsicle sticks, we have some clay, what are those called? Perler beads? No. I can't remember what those are called. You know what they are. Straws, paper plates, stuff like that. Okay, down here this is kind of extra stuff that I'm actually not really using this year. So this was our science kit from Core B for Sunlight. I'm going to be doing Core B again with my first grader probably next year. So I kept whatever we still had of that there, including the DVD and all that. And then this was a little anatomy, Magic School Bus anatomy, and so they cover anatomy in Core B, so I put that with that. So this is science stuff that we're not currently using. That is just a little bit more science stuff. Ooh, there's some rocks and geodes and stuff. And then this is just random round lids for in case they need to trace a circle. Geoboards. This is all sort of literacy, phonics, stuff like that. So we have like an ABC train. This is all for my preschooler. Alphabet Go Fish cards. These are some readers that I'm not using again right now, but I will be using them for my preschooler when she's at that point in time. So that's that. I also keep a huge tub of extra curriculum that I'm going to be using for students in the future, but I'm not using that current year. I don't like to have that stuff in my schoolroom. So, all right, and I just wanted to mention that with our Apologia Science, I also have a huge box full of all the materials that we'll need for the year. I got that on christianbook.com, and it's just, I guess somebody put together basically a kit of all the materials that you need, and they separated it out by lessons. So for lesson 4, there'll be a Ziploc bag with everything you need for the experiments for that lesson. So I have that boxed in. If you see, there's a door right back here behind this. It's actually back there, but there's through this door right here, you can also get to it. So I don't use this door, which is why I put this here. So if we need to get into that room, we always go through that door anyways. So that's where the big box of science stuff is. Okay. I do have this little daily flow, which is like our schedule, but I called it daily flow because we don't have times. But I've changed that, and if the new schedule works out, I'm going to move those cards around and redo that. But right now I'm kind of waiting to see how it works out. Down here are the towers. So each child has 1 tower. Now I know these are kind of what some people use for the workbox systems. We don't use it exactly like that, but I guess we kind of do. So I'll explain real quickly how we use these. This houses all the curriculum that they're doing on a daily basis, and it's in order of our schedule. So they start at the top and we just work our way down to the bottom. I will just show you one of them because it's kind of redundant to continue to show them. Well, my preschoolers is quite a bit different, so I'll show you a little bit of hers. So in their top drawer, they all have their morning notebook, and this is where they do their calendar and their vocab. Again, this is my preschoolers, so she does a lot of doodling in hers. But see, these are like their encroach. These were their vocabulary words, and then she drew a picture for it. Okay, and then they'll have, when it gets time, they'll have their calendar. So these are their morning notebooks. They keep that in the top drawer, all 3 of them. And then I also have handwriting stuff in the top drawer because we do that right around the same time as morning meeting on Fridays. We only do handwriting, like actual handwriting practice on Fridays. So that's all of their first drawers the same. Then in the second drawer, they all have math. So my preschoolers' drawers are kind of like just all of her math stuff. So if you'll see, I've got these worksheets that I reproduce when she's practicing a specific number. She has her little counters that we use for like number bingo, and I'll print out different number bingos depending on what number we're working on. And nope, that's for letters. There, it has all the numbers on there. These are her little cards. She has to match up the number on the clothespin to the card. So she just has lots of stuff in here. She has her actual math notebook in here. Ooh, let me see if I can get this out. Where she does her different like numbers and things that we do. Yeah, that was a great explanation, sorry. And she has her mathematical reasoning book and just more stuff. So this is like pretty much everything that I use for her for math. So what I'll do is I'll take this whole drawer over to my desk when I'm planning her week. And then I kind of organize it at the beginning of each week, but then it looks like this at the end. So it's Sunday. I need to go through and do these. I haven't done that yet. I'll be doing that tonight. So that's her math drawer. Then she has like her letter of the week curriculum, which we have Play-Doh. This is what I use. I'll print out the letter she's working on or write it if I don't have time to print it. And she makes Play-Doh letters. And then this is her letter notebook. Then we use this little letter chart here to do a chant, so that's in there. And she also has some tracing sheets, her ABC Dr. Seuss book. She'll have her letter poems in here. Just anything we use, any worksheets that I pull for that week. And her, I know you can't see this, but this is the Doodling Dragons ABC Book of Sounds. So that's her letter of the week drawer. Whoop. And then this is what I call pre-reading. So this is any skills that I think are considered like pre-reading skills. So I made these little alphabetical order. She can do these, or we can match up lowercase and uppercase. And then, what else is this one? Oh, this one is all the sounds. So this has the letter, and you have to match it with a picture that begins with that letter. And then I have this little thing here that has pictures again with letters, and you match them up and stuff like that. So anything like that goes in this drawer that she's working on for that week. And I will pull stuff from, if you remember over there I had some literacy stuff, I will pull stuff from there and put it in this drawer for the week. So I only do these drawers once a week. This is her basic skills drawer. She has folding, cutting, this is patterns, wiki stick, alphabet, actually that's supposed to be up there, but yep. And then her story of the week. I don't have a book in here right now because we got done, but each week she will have whatever book we're working on that week in here, and then whatever craft supplies I set out for that. So that goes there. And then she's got her history and science. She, like I said, she just kind of, the other kids for history and science, they have these for science, they have these junior notebooking journals here that came with their curriculum. You can kind of see. And so I'll take the picture out of my son's and just let her, I'll just make a copy of it and let her color because she's not really that into it. And then for geography and history, she can do that if she needs to. She can color like maps or whatever. So that's her kind of tower. And then like my son's is kind of similar, but it just has his morning stuff. His math book would be in here, and anything he needs for math is in here. His reading for the week would be in here. This is like the reader that he's working on right now, so that's in here. And, you know, his spelling and his sight words. But yeah, that's their towers. It just kind of has everything they need for the week. And so here's my 4th graders. Again, she has math, her reading, her spelling, grammar, writing, history and science, her rotation, which is geography, logic, cursive and journal, and then anything that's other, and then work in progress. So that's how I use these towers. They are everything they need for the week, and they come in, they get it when I say like, hey, it's time for math. They'll go grab their math books and bring them over to the table. So that is pretty much everything in our little homeschool room. Let me give you kind of a quick overview again. So back it up. That is it. That is our homeschool room, and that is everything. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Bye!